Alright, come on guys. Welcome to IT Security Labs, and today we have a good one. We're going to go to Hackthebox and crack a machine for ourselves. And in 2021, my main goal is to really get this OSCP out of the way. So I'm just going to go through some serious studying here. And one of the most important thing is make sure that we go for machines that allow us to practice hands-on for the OSCP. Here's what I've done so far. If you're very curious, I've done a lot of machines from this list right here. And I've actually done most of these Windows machines, but I want to practice more with these machines. There are a few that I used Metasploit. Now I'm just going through them without Metasploit, and one of them is called Devel. So I'm going to go through this machine today without Metasploit, so you can see how we can compromise a Windows machine. So that's what we're going there. We did a lot of these Linux boxes on this channel. You're going to see a bunch of them as well. And then I'm getting ready for the license penetration tester as well. So this is awesome, guys. Let's get started here. I went to Hackthebox. This is a retired machine. It's called Devel. And when you go to Hackthebox, what you're going to notice is that you need to be subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, then you cannot play the retired machines. Let me show you that I have a VPN connected to Hackthebox on tunnel 1, 10.10.10.14.10. So you need to be connected via VPN to the Hackthebox, and to be able to do this, you need to be a subscriber there as well. And once you sign in, let's go back here, you have access to these retired machines. And today I'm going to attack this. It's a Windows 10, it's a Windows machine. And this is what we have. We have some CVEs, so it kind of gives me a good idea. CTF like a little bit, and our IP address is 10.10.10.10.5. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's ping this machine, make sure that we can get there. All right, so since we can ping this machine, that means the fun can start. You will notice that I'm working from a folder called Devel. It's because I like to stay organized. Right here, I have all the machines that I've done, at least on this Kali Linux from Hackthebox, and I have a lot of them. Some of them are active machines, some of them are not. Then today I'm using Devel, so let's do that. Right, so you will see that I have a few goodies in here. Let's remove everything. Actually, let's leave it. Let's leave everything in there, because I will show you how to use these tools to be able to exploit a Windows 10 Windows machine. If you haven't worked on Windows machines before, this is going to be awesome practice, because that's where I like Linux machines. I'm very good at exploiting them very quickly. Windows, on the other hand, I need more practice. I've done a little practice, and you're going to see even more today. All right, let's start with our nmap. -sv -sc 10.10.10.5. Since I'm in my folder here, let's save this to a file called nmap, just to make sure that we have our results saved here. All right, so what did I do here? nmap -sv -sc 10.10.10.5. All right, so it's not responding. Why? VPN is up. All right, let's check Hackthebox. Do we have this machine running for us? All right, so if you go to all the machines here, you will see that our machine should be one of the retired machines, and we're just going to check to make sure that it's actually assigned to us. And here it is. Let's make sure. Yeah, so we are on 10.10.10.5. So let's check it out again. Interesting. All right, so let's give this machine a minute here. Somehow 10.5 is not responding. Yeah, this machine is super easy, but at the same time, there's a few things that we can learn about Windows exploitation. We are not using Metasploit, so if you use Metasploit, this machine is way too easy. We're not going to use Metasploit, we're going to do it manually as soon as it responds here. All right, let's go and reset this box here. I'm resetting the machine to make sure that it works. And that's how you reset machines on Hackthebox. This will cost you £10. Or is that $11 or $14? Something like that. But there's a lot of machines that are free. Oh, there we go. Alright, so it's responding now to pings. That means I should be able to run my Nmap here. Okay, let's stop that. All right, let's do it again. So now we are running Nmap. Let's find out what happens. And this is the very first part, is we're now enumerating our target. We want to find out what services are running on this target and how can we get into the machine. This is part of the enumeration process of our methodology. So if you're brand new to ethical hacking, this is the first thing you do is try to identify using Nmap. And in this case, there are many options, but I'm going for versions using SEP scripts in this case. And as you can see, I see port 21 is open and it's saying Microsoft. So I know it's a Windows box. Here's port 80 and here's a version of IIS. So we can look at that, and it's also potentially vulnerable to something. Interesting enough, FTP has anonymous open, so let's do that. We're trying to get in there with user anonymous, and then without password. If we say dir, we should be able to see what's in there. And while we're doing that, let's go check out port 80. What you want to do is go to 10.10.10.5. Find out what's running there. And here is a default version of IIS. So it looks like somebody didn't clean up after themselves when they put IIS out there. So let's see. Let's wait for this one. Why didn't my FTP? All right, let's clear this screen. Let's try FTP again. So this should just work right away, and it's timing out. Let's try it again. All right, so while it's doing that, let's check out here. Since we have 10.10.5, let's fire up derb. Let's find out if there are any other directories out there. And derb is going to bust some directories for us on HTTP. All right. This is just going to show us if there's any interesting directories there. So let's do that. And let's okay, my FTP connection is timing out, which is fine. So somehow this box is extremely unstable. This is what you get for live streaming for on Hackthebox. That's why I like to have my own lab when I live stream. Then I can control the speed of these machines. Because sometimes these things are very unstable. As you can see, anonymous works and no password. There, now it works. Okay, so as you can see, if we say there, we see that we have this ISS start and the welcome.png. You will notice that this is the same stuff. If we go to source here, welcome.png here, and the same files that we are seeing. So it's throwing us straight into this directory where this website is running, and that's very important to know. So we can add any files here and it should work. And in this case, let's do this. Yeah, this is Devel is not going to find anything. It's just going to find what we just saw here. So let's stop that. Let's touch test.text ASPX actually. Then it's let's put some content here. And then since I'm working from the same directory, I should be able now to and what I'm doing here is I'm putting a test file to see if it actually sees it before I put anything bad, anything malicious. And then let's go to it and see if we see our message. Yeah, so it sees our test hack. So now that we know that we can upload files directly here, then the sky is the limit on what we can do here. You might have seen us using PHP reverse shell, but in this case we are using ASPX instead of reverse shell. You might be asking yourself, did I know that it's ASPX? This is Microsoft IIS, and in this case, this one takes ASPX from what we saw here. So because of that, let's go ahead and find a shell in our Kali Linux that actually that we can upload, that is similar to the Pentest Monkey reverse shell or any other common reverse shells. And in this case, let's locate ASPX. I'll show you. You'll find a bunch of things here, but what's interesting is we can see we have some web shells. We have we have a user share. We have this web shell here. I know what it does. Let's start with that. Let's copy that, put it here. Okay, I'm just naming it webshell.aspx. All right, now that it's in here, this is why you like to work from the same directory. Put webshell.aspx. What? All right, now if I do an ls here, here's my web shell. Just an extra dot that I put there. Okay, now let's go and put it. This is how you transfer files using FTP. Okay. All right, web shell put. So now let's change to that. There we go. We're in. So we know that we can put web shells to this thing, and this is a very simple method that we just did here, being able to upload a shell and access it. We can run commands here. Can I do ID? Oh, this is Windows, but I should be able to. I'm getting a shell as is apple/web. Okay, I don't like this shell. This shell does not work for me. So here's what I like. I like something that is very simple, similar to Pentest Monkey. And in this case, I have one called do I have a reverse shell here? Let's look at an ASPX again. I don't know where my reverse shell is, but I want something with reverse. I want something ASPX. Come on. Where is my ASPX? There has to be a reverse shell somewhere. I see a bunch of web shells here. Let's see. Yeah, now I'm getting somewhere. All right, so I have something like this. This is similar to exactly what Pentest Monkey has, and it's a better one than the web. That's what you want to do here. So let's do that. I'll show you what it looks like. All you need to do is put your Kali Linux IP address here and your port. So if you know how to use Pentest Monkey reverse shell, this is exactly the same way. It's just the ASPX instead of the PHP. Identical. That's why I like this one better. So instead of executing commands here, we can do a lot of things here. We can run netcat, you know, something like this. We can still get shells here, but I just wanted to show you another way that is actually better, because we can run netcat from here and do other things. But hey, why not get a full shell when you can? And this is us avoiding Metasploit. So let's quit that. If you copy this one that I have here, this is the command that I did. I did that and I copied it locally here. All right. I changed my IP to my VPN IP on port 4242. You know what? Let's change this to a different port here. 4455. All right, so now that I have 4455 and sh.aspx, let's start a listener. 4455. And then let's go and put that file there. Okay. Our FTP timed out. Put anonymous without a password. SH. You see why I like the short names? So I don't have to memorize it. Okay, now that we put it there and we started our listener, let's go and trigger it. Where am I listening? All right, I'm listening here. Let's trigger it here. Forget the web shell. Let's go straight to the terminal. All right, we're in. So that was a simple, as you can see, there are two ways, and this is why maybe attending these live streams help, because when somebody's writing a write-up, they just choose one and go with it. You can get the reverse shell that I showed you, or we can get straight in there. And as you can see here, what do I have here? Okay, so now that I'm in here, there's a few things that we can do. We are in here as a user. We need to escalate our privileges in Windows. And this is where the fun begins, I think. Getting in here was easy. We've managed to find out that we're running an FTP server, and this is also on a Windows machine. And we figured out that it's a default IIS. We can write to it. We uploaded a reverse shell, and we got a shell here. And we're in. So now that we're in here, there's a few places that you can go to escalate our privileges. We can use some automated tools, and let me share one with you here that I think might be very interesting for some people here. Where did I put that? Because we need to find out a few things, right? first thing is, I mean, is this thing vulnerable or not? And what are we running here? Do we have any services that are running? And in Linux, we have enum, but here we have JAWS. In fact, let's just Google JAWS from here. You might want to work with JAWS, and this is an automated way of finding out if this thing is vulnerable or not. And I'll show you both automated and not. And in this case, this is a PowerShell script that is designed to help pen testers and us CTFers to quickly identify potential privilege escalation vectors on Windows systems. It's written in Python PowerShell 2 and should work on Windows 7. Okay, so let's identify this version of Windows first. In this case, let's do a sysinfo. System info or sysinfo from Metapredator. So let's find out what kind of information do we have here from this system. Let's give it a minute here. Hi BT, it's good to see you, man. Welcome to another live stream. All right, so since it's hanging, I know this machine is not that stable. I might have to kill this. Oh, never mind. All right, system info is going to tell us we're running Windows 7 Enterprise. All right, and it's running on VMware, and it's a 32-bit from here. There's a registered owner, Babis. That's interesting. And here's the time zone where they're running this thing from. What's of interest to us is this build number here. Two things that we're asking ourselves is there any exploit for this version of Windows 7? Did they patch it? That's the most important thing for us is this thing updated? And if it is, then we're at a loss. If it's not, then we need to find out, is there a known exploit out there for this version of Windows? And that's exactly what we're going to do here. You can just copy the version of Windows and plug it in Google manually and figure out if it's vulnerable or not. You can search in search exploit, in this case. There are multiple ways we can do this. Search exploit for that. You see that search exploit is telling us there is something. Windows. Okay, so let's really narrow down our search here. All right, let's plug this in Google instead. All right, there it is. We're on 32-bit, and here is a bunch of things from ExploitDB and some privilege escalation for OSCP. Someone was working on one here, so I can tell that we're making some progress. Let's check one of these. Okay, yep, it's exactly what we're looking for. 32-bit for Windows local privilege escalation. So now that we have this, let's check it out from search exploit. All right. So it looks like we do have one here. But guess what? It's not compiled for us. It's written in C and it's not compiled. So lucky for us, we might be able to compile this. Because I know where it is. This is just a faster way of doing it. Let's view it and see the best way for us to compile it. Because we should be able to compile it by ourselves. And usually when people write these, they tell you how. Too lazy to add shellcode? You should steal this one. Oh, steal this one. All right. All right, so here is our exploit. It's good to get familiar with these things just in case it doesn't work. We need to see if they change something that our system doesn't have. So being able to edit this is very important for us as well. So just looking at the exploit is also helpful. And what I came here for was to look for, how do I run this thing? Or at least how do I compile it before I go to the internet? Well, somebody already compiled it anyway. Let's see. BT says I took the wrong exploit. Let me see. That one is it's a local privilege escalation. Let's quit here. Yeah, that one should work, BT. And I'll show you how we can compile it, and also maybe a different way in which we can do this. First thing is, let's copy it here. What do you mean? I want to copy it here. All right, so I copied it right here, and it's 1855. All right, so now let's compile it, and here is what I found out how we can compile it, and I'll show you here in a second. Let me edit this. I'm copying from my cheat sheet. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So if we use that option here and specify this, then I'll also show you where you can get it for free. Then we can specify where we want it to be output as. In this case, let's output it to MS11. Actually, let's name it something bad. Okay, so didn't find my bash, okay. You know what? Somehow this is how we compile it. I'm running into an error here, but what I can do is show you another way that I've always used when I run into stuff like this. In my privilege escalation here, under Windows, I've pre-compiled exploits by Abachi. I think Abachi copied these from else. So if you get tough time or you don't have time to waste, this is where you come in. And this was MS11-046, I think. And as you can see here, a lot of them. And these were forked from this one. I used to have this link. I think it's dead. Yeah, it's dead. But according to Abachi here, these have been compiled for us. And it's MS11-046 right here. And here is the original one that we were trying to compile. And the good thing is we can read the versions of Windows that are affected. In this case, Windows 7. And here it is. And here is how we're supposed to compile it, remember? I was trying to copy this. So somehow my Kali Linux is not up to par, but if you wanted to compile it yourself, this is the command to run, and now you know where to find it. But hey, we don't want to do that and deal with the errors. Let's download this. Okay, let's discard that. We want to download this in our Kali Linux. So let's go to Kali. So if you're ever in a position where you have a publicly available exploit, check that link from Apache. It may save you some time. So now let's download this. Save the file. Okay. All right. Once you download it, you can see it in your downloads, or in this case, for me, I copied it right here. It's just an executable. It's just a matter of now getting it to our victim machine, which is, I think, a very important skill that we're going to learn today is how do you transfer files between your Kali Linux attacker machine to a victim machine. Getting root is fun, but these skills, I think, are the most important things, like being able to interact with our victim machines and stuff like that. That's why I do these things, not really to get root. So first thing that I know for a fact is on Windows, I need to go to the temp folder. That's where I can download things and upload things to. And I can cd to /. And in Windows, I don't think the caps matter. This location. Hello, welcome to IT Security Labs, and today we are attacking a Windows machine from Hackthebox. And let's see if we can do this. If it hangs here, that means that maybe our machine is slow. We might have to re-trigger this shell here. So let's see. So while it's doing that, we just found out that we are running this version of Windows here. Windows 7 Enterprise, and this is the version. This is vulnerable to our good friend here. Local privilege escalation, MS11046. There are probably multiple versions that is vulnerable to. We're just going with this one. And we're trying to change some directories to the temp directory here. And let's see. Let's give it a minute, just in case it's hanging again. Hackthebox machines can be unstable, so you kind of have to be a little patient with them. In this case, I'm not going to be patient. I'm going to trigger my shell again. So I'm listening on port 4455, and right here, I'm triggering my shell again. This is how you are able to get your reverse shell back, just in case you're wondering. I uploaded this here, so I should be able to just re-trigger it again. If the machine is still up, there we go. Let me do a little bit at a time. I want to go in here. Do I have anything in here? All right, so we're in the temp folder. This is where we can write things to. In Windows, you always want to go to the temp folder. And here is where things get interesting. To transfer files from Kali Linux here, let's exit out of here. In this case, I want to transfer my exploit, this nasty file here, which is an executable, to my machine, my victim machine. I can just launch Python simple HTTP server here. And to do that, we just use this one. In this case, let's put it on port 8080. You can launch an FTP server here. It just depends on what you are comfortable with. In this case, I'm launching on port 8080. And then let me transfer this file to my temp folder. And to do that, let me show you And this is way more important than getting a flag, to be honest with you. This is why you should watch these live streams here. How do we do things? And in this case, we can use setutil. This is what I had in my cheat sheet. Usually I'm transferring netcat. In this case, we're not transferring netcat. We're actually transferring a different file. So let's copy. Let's start with setutil here. And let's put the right file name. And the file that we want to transfer is this. And then we come here, we say we want that file there. And we want to remove netcat. Want that file there. And the IP address of our Kali Linux 10.10.10. That's 14.5. I think 14.10 on port 8080. Specify the port where you're listening and the name, like that. So we're saying we're going to try setutil. It doesn't always work, and if it doesn't work, we have PowerShell waiting. Again, same syntax for PowerShell here. If PowerShell doesn't work using this way, we can try this way. I've seen a lot of unstable boxes, so I have 3 ways that I can try this. I can even try with SMB, but this time I'm running setutil first. So let's do that. So as you can see, this is what we have here. Now let's try to transfer our file from that to Windows temp. All right, let's do it. Let's paste it here on our victim machine. It should look good. It looks good. As you can see, we did a dir here. We don't have it. So let's paste. If setutil fails here, this is going to be really good. Yeah, there's a good question here. I did this machine a long time ago with Metasploit, and this time I'm avoiding Metasploit. This machine can be done with Metasploit in 10 minutes. But this time I'm doing it manually. So this is a machine that I've done before automatically with Metasploit, and today I'm doing it the manual way, which I think is more beneficial than Metasploit. So if you do a dir, we should now see our file here. So how do we execute this file in Windows? I think we should just be able to run it. All right, so this is a where things can get interesting. I think this machine was meant to be done with Metasploit. So let's give it a minute here and have it run all the way. If it fails, we know that this is the way we should get it using the automated way. The biggest takeaways here are we were able to upload our reverse shell, our ASPX shell, and we got a user through FTP. We found out after that from system information that this is vulnerable to this exploit. And then we found a pre-compiled exploit for ourselves and we uploaded it here and we are running it. It's as simple as that. That's why this machine is super simple. But at the same time, we can compile out this exploit by ourselves if we wanted to. There isn't much going on with this exploit really other than running it after compiling it. So maybe it's something to learn. The most exciting ones are the buffer overflows, where we might be finding the offset and all that good stuff. That might be fun, but in this case, we're just running a pre-compiled exploit. So as you can see, it's hanging here. This should have executed by now. But this is the exploit. I know that it works because I actually did it earlier. So if it keeps hanging, we might want to re-trigger it again. But at the same time, we now know how to get into this machine and actually exploit it. All right, so as you can see, it's going, which is not fun. Let's fire Metasploit. It's already owned by this. Just in case it's taking forever, let's see if we can get through Metasploit as well. But this is the way you do it manually. Maybe we just need to be patient and have the executable run. But this is how we should when it comes back, it should come back as root. So if you wanted to see how to exploit this machine, that's the way we do it right there. But in case you really want to see root, go the Metasploit route. In fact, I'm not going to do that. It's just too easy. I have a video where I exploited this machine. I think I show Metasploit on that video. Another alternative that we can do instead of running the executable one here is we can use MSF Venom, then catch the shell with Metasploit, then find it using exploit suggester, which I think is an easy way to do it. You know what? Let's do it. I'm going to let this one run here so we can see where it's going with that. But at the same time, let's see if we can search for this. This is how you do it the automatic way. Interesting. I thought for sure it would show me that one. Let me see if I can find a different one. Someone said they wanted to see me struggle. No, we don't want that. All right, so we don't have a Metasploit for this one. However, I think we can find a module for something different if we wanted to. This is just one of them, right? Let's see if there's another one that we're vulnerable to while this is running here. Let's see if I can go up. Yeah, let's go back to our results here. All right, so we went with the first one here. Let's go and see if we can find another one that it actually has a Metasploit module. Local privilege escalation. Does this one work? Let's figure it out. It's the right build number. Let me copy that one. Somebody wanted a rabbit hole. Maybe this might be it. Let's see if this one works. Because there has to be a Metasploit module. No. Let's go back. Is this one? Yeah, that's the one we're looking at. And while we're doing that, I'm just checking to see if my executable worked here. You know what? Let's put our time where things actually matter. Let me stop this one more time. Let me re-trigger my shell just in case it died on me. If that one doesn't work, I'll show you another way you can trigger that from an SMB share, which might be the easiest one. Give me 1 second here. Let's go back. It didn't trigger. And this is what happens when you're hacking, right? If it doesn't come back, persistence. You know your shell is there, so it will work. Now it works. All right, so wait a second. All right, there it is. All right, so maybe let's try it one more time with start. All right, while it's going, let me show you another way that we could have done it. I think it's... Oh, my VPN is restarting in the background. I can see that. Maybe we can cheat. What was that one called? Web shell? Maybe we can trigger it from the web shell. Let's see. All right, so while this is happening, let me show you another way we could have done this. We could have just started a, and this is why this is important. We could have started a file share here using SMB share. Let me see if I have the script here. I can show you how to set it up. Don't I have SMB share here? Oh, it's SMB server. It should be part of my in-packet. Yep, it is part of my in-packet. Okay, so I could have started this one here. The in-packet SMB server. In this case, I want to share this directory. So I can do it from here, and I can share it from right here. In this case, I can say, hey, SMB server, share this one. So let's run the SMB server here. Actually, I can just do it from there. Here's my SMB server.py, and I want you to run, share this one. I think I should be able to do that. Is it the right syntax? Make sure that it's working. Here. Make sure. I might have to give everybody permissions to this, but all right, so my SMB server now is running and it's actually sharing this right now. If I go to my victim machine, this is still running. I don't like that. Let's stop it. One last time. All right. Okay. Right, I have it here. So instead of triggering it from here, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to trigger it from my share, from my SMB share that I launched right here. In this case, I'm sharing the Devel folder, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. And let's do this. And what I want is this. Let's see if we can trigger it from my share instead. And what we can do is to whack 10.10.14.10 slash there. That's the one that I'm sharing. That's my share folder. Then the name. Let's trigger it from there. Maybe we'll get better luck. That's us again trying to trigger our executable from here. So multiple ways to do it. If you don't want to transfer it, this is a straightforward way that we can do it. I'm pretty sure that if we give this a few minutes or just wait for it, after a long time, it probably just triggers it by itself. But I'm not going to waste everybody's time by looking at that. So that's one way we can exploit this manually. And a reason why a lot of people don't do it manually is because of what we're experiencing here. The instability of the box and the exploits not working. And the fact that we don't trust that this is pre-compiled. We like to compile it ourselves. So those are the different reasons why maybe some people might have a hard time here. But as you can see, it's not giving me an error. That means maybe this thing is running in the background. So leaving it is probably the best way than messing with it. And then another part that I wanted to talk about was JAWS. I didn't run JAWS here because I didn't want it to take a long time. But JAWS is very, very important for us in Windows enumeration. And let me show you where you can find more information about JAWS. When I go to Windows machines, usually what I'm looking for is better ways to exploit them. And in this case, this right here, I was able to run it. I'll show you what it looks like, but I'm not going to run it. This was written by someone, what is his name? I forgot. But what you can do is you can transfer it to the victim machine and then automate the process of finding out what the system is vulnerable to. And here are important things that JAWS is going to do for us. It's going to give us network information, and what we're looking at on network information is this thing dual homed, meaning is this machine connected to two networks? And if it's connected to two networks, maybe we can use that machine to jump to other machines, another network, for example. It's going to show us the firewall rules and statuses, running processes. In this case, you're looking for processes like Firefox that are running and that we can maybe dump the memory. Maybe you can look at history from the browsers. You're looking for files and folders where you can write things, see if you can modify some access, mapped drives that might give you some hidden information. Interesting files really, uncoded service paths that you can actually really exploit. Recent documents that shows us who was writing in this system. System install files. Registry keys. Registry keys are very, very important. So you'll be seeing some machines that I'll be practicing here with that. For installed applications, the easiest ones are browsers and some vulnerable applications, CMS that are maybe versions that you can see here. Same as services, scheduled tasks that might be running as administrator. Yeah, thanks BT for posting that. And this can be saved to, as you can see here, you can save that to a text file. So my game plan is if I go for the OSCP, I get to a Windows machine, I get JAWS there, then I get started, then it just starts running in the background. Then while I do other things, and here is easy ways to do things, as you can see here. So JAWS is a wonderful tool. It's like Enum for Linux, but for Windows. That's one way to do it. Another way that we can do, or another important resource for Windows, I already showed you this, but is these Windows exploits. You can save yourself a lot of time. Look at them. I mean, this is a big list. Chances are one of your exploits is one of these. And these are pre-compiled. You can use theirs if the ones that you're compiling are failing for whatever reasons. Try to use the ones from here, and usually you'll be able to see the executable files, like I just saw this one. And then another one for Windows privilege escalation. Let me show you. I have my notes here. In addition to transferring files using this here, there's this blog post here that you can use, but for privilege escalation under Windows, I had JAWS here. Where did I had something else here. Let me check my bookmark here so I can show you all the good stuff. All right, so for Windows, that one doesn't work. All right, here's another one for Linux that I cannot live without. I think a lot of people will tell you that this works. This one I had bookmarked. I just thought I would share with you guys. If you find any SUIDs for Linux, chances are they're here. This is a very, very wonderful resource. Actually, I didn't mean to go to systemctl. That's the one that I was working on earlier today. You want to go to the main one, not to systemctl. You want to go to here. Then you can search for any SUIDs here. This is for Linux. So that's what we have there. And I have it as a shortcut here as well, as you can see. And my JAWS is set up here. And usually I'm telling myself what I should be doing here. All right. So let's go back and check to see if our executable succeeded or not. If it didn't, all right, it looks like it says network path was not found, 10, 10, 10, 14. Okay, so this one didn't execute. Why? So it looks like it's working. Let's run this one again. So once you run this, it should give you administrator. There's no reason why this shouldn't work. So that's where we are with this manual exploitation. If you want, you can look up how to do this using Metasploit. I think there's value in that as well. But I've done that. There's actually a video that I show you on this channel where I use Metasploit. And a lot of people were not so happy that I used Metasploit. And this is a live stream where I wanted to show you how to do it manually. Yeah. Thanks, BT. And the machine is also very unstable, which frustrates the hell out of everybody who tries to do it manually. And then here I am trying to do it on live stream manually. All right, so once it becomes stable, you should get back as root. That's where we are with that one. I'll take any questions that people might have for me right now. I'll check this before we end the stream. I've also used this one here. This exploit here is pretty fun. I don't remember which machine on Hackthebox, but I remember the name. It's a very, very nice exploit. You should try it. I'll take any questions that you guys might have. Otherwise, a quick update here for everybody. I'm going to sign up for the License Penetration Tester exam from EC Council. Hopefully, I get my my exam code tomorrow from EC Council. I already paid for it. I requested it today. I'm thinking I'll probably be doing that at the end of January. So I'll give myself 3 to 4 weeks of seriously getting really good with Windows exploitation. So because of that, I'll be spending a lot of time on Try Hack Me. So I have the, let me show you what my Try Hack Me account looks like. I subscribed to Try Hack Me, and I'm going to go through their OSCP path, the whole thing. I've already done a bunch of them. Then after that, I'm also finishing some training from EC Council for the licensed penetration tester. And after that, I've done a bunch of these machines from Hackthebox already, so I know that I'm good there. But here is the path that I'm taking from Try Hack Me. Let's move it so I can show you. Here's the OSCP path that I'm taking. It says 19% here, but I've spent more time than 19%. There's 25 rooms. I want to do them all. It's a little too easy for some of the stuff I already know, but I'm going to do it anyway because you can never know too much. But here's what I've done. I did the getting started. You can do all these. The Vaughan University, which is super easy. It's just Derb Blue, which is a easy machine, and here's another Samba machine. I paid, so I have advanced exploitation here. I'll be doing all these. And as you can see, I have a bunch of CVEs. I'm going mostly for Windows. So this is going to be fun. Most of this week, I'll be doing that. I already started buffer overflow here. So my buffer overflow game is going to go up by the end of this week because of this. So that's what I'll be doing. Then after that, I'll take the license penetration tester exam. It's a 24-hour exam, just like the OSCP. The only difference is that they give me a week to write a report, which I'm really looking forward to. So I can take it in two parts. I can take it as two 12-hour sessions, or I can do it all in one. I think I'm going to do it all in one because I want it to be done with. Then after that, I'm hoping that I'll just schedule the OSCP 30 days after that so I can do them back to back, since it's pretty much the same stuff. And if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about here. Certified penetration tester material from EC Council. If you pass this test with 90% of the score, you get the licensed penetration tester, which is what I'm going for. And here's the training material that I've taken. I'm only left with one, binary analysis and exploitation, which is pretty much buffer overflows. And what I do is I want to complete the ones on Try Hack Me, then watch a bunch of their videos, then do the labs here. So that's what we have. That's the plan. So the next few weeks are going to be very busy for me. Yeah, it's going to be super fun. And then I've been talking about the OSCP for a long time, and this time I just want to go and do it because I think I can do it. And I already learned how to write the report from here. I don't know. The material is a little hit and miss sometimes. So I know the methodology both from EC Council and the OSCP folks, and hopefully both of them will help me become really good at what I'm talking about here. So that's what we have there. And as soon as we are done, I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's what that is going to do. And then for this one, as soon as this executes, that's how things are going to work. I'm hoping for the OSCP it doesn't hang like this, because if this happens, I might have to resort for Metasploit, which I highly doubt that I will be doing, but we exploited this machine here. I said I can try. Let's see. EJPT. Yeah, that one is not in the works right now. Right now, I have the license penetration tester from EC Council, and then I also have the OSCP as a 2 for now. A few weeks ago, I passed the CEH practical, which was really fun. So I'm sort of like an exam junkie at this point. I like these exams. I would like to go and get tested. Awesome. yeah, it's good to see you guys. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe so you can follow my my journey to the OSCP. If I pass or fail, I'll let you guys know. And also the same for the license penetration tester stuff. This one, I think it'll cost you about $1,500 or something like that to get it done. Yeah. And it's exciting stuff. So if you're wondering, like, what does this guy do? This is what I do. I come here and I share with you guys how I'm learning. Then I go and I take some tests and make sure that at least we're learning. Someone is asking, how long have I been doing cybersec? I would say that I used to work as a system administrator and also as a network administrator, and I was doing security then. So I've been doing this type of stuff, or at least some security work for a little while. Officially, for work purposes, I work as a security engineer on the blue team, and hopefully I'll be a red team member soon or in the future, because this is what's exciting for now. But if you're a beginner, I highly encourage you to set up your own lab. A lot of people like to go to Try Hack Me or Hackthebox. I think that they're wonderful platforms. Like I'm showing you, I'm a member there. But at the same time, I think that by all means, you need to be able to spend some time knowing how these things work. When you go to these platforms like Try Hack Me, they already deployed these machines for you. You need to know how people deploy these machines so you can attack them. You need to set up a lab, and that you cannot substitute. You need to at least know what system administrators do. You need to know how things work in a production environment. You hack it and you know what you did, but you need to know how does it sit in a production environment in the cloud. How is it deployed there? It's exciting to play CTFs, but deploy a lab if you are just getting started. I think that really helps. Have a network that you can actually set up by yourself. Know what a subnet is. Know some subnetting. Know how applications interact with a network. IP addressing, DHCP, all that stuff. I think that really helps. And if there's ways you can learn them from here, great. But the best way is set up a home lab. I think to me, that is the best way to do it. I think if you have connected a firewall to a switch and then connected a server to it and see it working, you have a better understanding than just going to someone's machine that they deployed for you. Because these people are putting it on a network, and if you have never seen a network in your life, you need to set up one. That's just the ugly truth. Hacking is fun in games, and I mean it's exciting, but everybody wants to be a hacker, which is exciting, but at the same time I think we have a lot of people who don't want to know what's going on under the hood. We have a lot of people who don't want to be system administrators, or at least know what networking is. I think that is very, very important, to be honest. I'm not saying there aren't a lot of pen testers who just don't learn from Try Hack Me and Hackthebox. They are. But I think you need to at least start somewhere. Yes, thanks BT. The video where I show you how to set up this lab, the simplest way to do these things is, if you want to come from the networking side, set up a firewall at least once in your life, right? Set up whether it's a web application firewall or physical firewall, set up a network at least once in your life. Then you can attack networks later. Set up a server, an Apache server or a WordPress server at least once in your life. Then you can attack WordPress as a pen tester. Set up Docker containers at least once in your life. Then when you get shell inside of a Docker container, you know where you are. Last time I was, actually last week, I was exploiting a machine on Hackthebox, and I was thrown in a Docker container, and it was easy for me to know how to escape that Docker container. because I knew how Docker containers work. And in fact, I ended up writing this right here, telling myself, hey, how do I become root from a Docker container? Then I wrote myself some notes here to tell myself like, hey, this is how you do it. And I gave myself an RSA. This is an active machine right now on Hackthebox. So for anyone who is saying I'm a new person, I think it is in your best interest to know how they work before you attack them. All right, and then I had some automated tools. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. This is something that I also just reference. For Windows, you might want to bookmark this for your own privilege escalation, especially if you're in Windows. I've used it a couple of times as well on Hackthebox, so it's really, really interesting. All right, let's see. Yeah, that is awesome. Yep. I think that's the way to do it, honestly. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. So next time you see me on this channel, I might have done a lot on this path here, and that way I get all my bases covered. So this week is mostly going to be buffer overflow. I want to see how they do it on Try Hack Me. I watched the Cyber Mentors videos on buffer overflow. I also learned from some online, but I want to see how they do it here. They have 10 hours worth of Active Directory stuff. I don't know if I will spend more time on the basics, but we'll see. I'll be spending some time there as well. Let's see. All right, so let's check to see if our executable ran and is still hanging. Interesting. All right, I'm going to try it one last time from our share and then make sure that it works. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check if my SMB is working. So why didn't it find this file? Root machines Devel. Okay. Let's try to trigger it one more time before we call it quits. Because we like to see if something is not working. What is it that's not working? So I ran this SMB server here. Oh, I already have a share. What do I have in my share here? This is probably something that I've used before. All right, so let's do it this way. Let's copy it here. All right. So we can just say, hey, share this one like that with a dot here, or we can just say switch root. / share. Shouldn't matter. All right, now that we did that, let's go back here. Let's hope our shell is more stable now. If it's not, and netcat. You might want to do this. Paste and go. Unless if somebody reset the machine while I was doing this. I should still have my shell there. Let's close that. All right, there we go. You know what? We don't even need to be there anymore. Find the IP address 10.10.10. I think it's that. You want to make sure that it's exactly the same. Let's cancel that. One last time. Network path not found 10.10.10 14.10. Huh. Let's look it up. Not that. I have this blog post posted somewhere and it tells us that one. Here we go. Interesting. So it is this. Maybe we're missing that. Let's do that. SMB server. I don't know why I keep typing SMB share. And what the one that we want is this one. You know what? Now that I have my Python here, let's run it the way that they're talking about. Reason why I like to copy and paste is so that I don't make any mistake. All right. And it's right here. All right. And if we do an ls on this, let's make sure our file is there. All right. Going back to our victim machine. So this should work. Let's put it again here. No. What am I doing? I don't know why this one is not working. Let's check it one more time. But I'm sharing with everybody. All right, so that's the exploit. Since this machine is not so stable, I'm not going to even worry about it too much. We were able to do it manually, and I hope we saw the way we can exploit it. It's not mounting my share, but I already have it in here. Yeah, you see, it's even hanging just when I'm trying to go. I already downloaded it to the temp and it's hanging. So I'm not too worried about making it work. We know that this works, and that's the way we do it manually. So for now, I think we learned how we can do these things, and we learned a few things about how to transfer files, and hopefully you even learned something about mounting SMB shares the way I was doing it here, and also some useful resources for Windows. In the future, you will see I might even go after other machines on Hackthebox. I'm not a big fan of this because they are not as stable on live streams. I will probably go and try HackMe as well if they allow me to go through some of the machines. I think since I paid, I might not be able to show you when I'm doing most of these things. Since they are supposed to be for subscribers, I would have to check their terms of use. But if their terms of use allows me to show you most of these, I'll show you when I'm doing them. Otherwise, that's the way we're going to be planning on this right now. All right, that's it from me. I'll just look here, see if there's anything else I can answer. Otherwise, we can call it a day. Working as a junior sysadmin, let's see. And you want to get into the SOC 1 position, what set do you think I should go for? CCNA, EJPT, I have the CCNA, and I'll tell you it's a very, very important certification. I owe most of what I know to that CCNA knowledge. So either way, I encourage you to try the CCNA if you want to. If you have the funds, I encourage you to take the CCNA, because once you know networking, your life is going to be way easier with this as a SOC analyst or whatever. So yes, CCNA is definitely going to help you. The Security Plus is something that most people throw out there, but after taking the CEH practical, I think if you have the money, take the Certified Ethical Hacker practical exam. That one is worth the money. The Splunk machine on TryHackMe, did I sign up for that? No, I don't think so. I did not start the Splunk machine. And to be honest, right now I'm not going to be doing a lot of Splunk or Kibana or stuff like that. Right now I'm mostly concerned about the OSCP, offensive security type of stuff. So over the next month or so, you're going to see less of the Kibana stuff. It's mostly going to be offensive security, a lot of buffer overflow, a lot of Windows machine exploitation. Maybe some Linux here and there, but we have exhausted a lot of Linux machines on this channel. We know our way around with Linux machines, and we know how to exploit both the kernels and everything. It's going to be a lot of Windows machine. Buffer overflows, 3 of them, at least 3 live streams before I go to the exam are going to be on buffer overflows. Then some kernel exploits, and then hopefully we can master those things. So yeah, the Splunk machine is here. I looked at it. It's very simple to actually complete. It's a bunch of logs. Then you are asked to go and get them. So you should be able to get those ones done. Yeah, you should be able to get the Splunk machine done in no time. So this is what I'm going to be focused on for now. All right. So as you can see, I have a few things to get done here before I go to bed. Thank you all for joining me tonight, and I hope you learned something about Windows exploitation, the manual way without Metasploit. Next time I see you guys, we'll be doing more Windows exploitation. So sometime during this week, I'll just have a random live stream and I'll post on our Facebook group, let you know. But we'll be doing more live streams on Windows. So thank you for joining. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks.